to be controversial, and I'm really not a controversial person, but I gave like 5 reasons as to why. I mean, like, you know me, but in reality, I'm not really, I don't try and be in your face controversial, but I do like to educate people, you know. So that was my post for just yesterday concerning Mother's Day and that whole weekend. Hopefully it doesn't offend my children in any way. I tried to choose my words wisely. But anyway, what did you do? How was your conference?
Oh my gosh. So okay, so I went to a conference. The conference I went with my son-in-law, and I'll just say
Your
my
future
my
son-in-law.
my future son-in-law, but all intents and purposes, my son-in-law.
Okay.
So we went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm speaking as though it were, and 4 years, yeah, he's my son-in-law. Common law says he's my son-in-law.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So yeah. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, he and I went together, each I think the first day we drove separate. And then Saturday and Sunday we drove together. And it was so much information. It was like so enlightening. And it's amazing how you think you know a little something about real estate until you realize you don't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my weekend. My weekend was a true realization that, cute. I thought I knew something, to the point where we actually got so motivated that we actually signed up for the program. That's how serious it was, how exciting it was. And it went through everything from like, how to, flip and buy, buy commercial, buy residential, buy multifamily, talked about liens. It talked about trust, and all I can say is there was just so much information to take in, but it was so exciting to be with someone that was like-minded. Like he and I were like ferocious when it comes to the notes. And one day I think he actually stepped out to do something. I said, yeah, I'll take copious notes. I said, well, when he came back, I said, well, maybe not copious notes, but I took some notes. But it was amazing. I mean, I have been waiting decades for the right program. Like how you get to that certain point, and it doesn't feel right. This one, from the time they opened up their mouth, because the first thing he did say was, the first time he did real estate, he failed. Like he had this property in California, and he thought he knew everything, and then the market went, and to actually learn from someone that actually already knew, learned the hard way and has an easier way, step-by-step instructions as to how to succeed, not keeping in mind, not everybody's going to be like, what's his name? Tony, he's not going to be like the best baseball player. You're not going to knock it out the park right the first time. But, some are. So they said that, some are going to succeed and some are not, but the thing is with all these tools, it's like, and they had, a few programs. And first program, you would have assistance and help for a first year. Second program, you had assistance and help for 2 years. Well, then they had one program where you have a lifetime, what do you call that? Opportunities to speak to someone,
Okay.
So I'm like, apples and oranges? No, that's the whole basket right there. So we took the whole basket. And all I can say is already my son-in-law is like, hit the ground running. He's already sending me information, sending me this. And I'm like, yeah, you got to have the right partner. So my partner is partnering, right?
Amen.
So we're really excited, about, opportunities. It's all about bettering our family, bettering other people. And I told them, they asked me, what's your why? I said, I've always cared about the elderly and children, and I want to be able to have enough funds, in my back pocket to be able to help, to be able to implement, certain programs for people that are in need. Not to mention there are a plethora of vets out there that are homeless, right? So all I can say is I know that God's going to bless this because my heart is in the right place, and so is his. And it's a blessing because something about like minds, and I like the fact that he's going to push me and I'm going to push him, as well. Once you put down that money, it's like, I'm going to need you to hold up to your end. So I'm super excited. I was supposed to go to an upcoming conference on investment, but this is my niche right here. You know what I'm saying?
Got the full package.
So I'm gonna have to call it and cancel. I can't see adding more to my plate than I need to right now. This is where where I think the bread and butter is going to come from. That's once you get so established, go take that class, and then if they have they're implementing all kinds of new classes into our program. Our program has it broken out by everything you want to know about real estate. It's broken down into segments like modules. So you have it, and then you also have like they give you tests at the end of every little module, and they're nice and short and sweet, like enough for your brain to grasp. not a whole bunch of information all in one sitting, like a seminar. But I'm really, really excited, and knowing, like I say, he's excited too. Let's go, right? And it's funny because my grandson had his birthday party on Saturday, and remember I said the conference was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So my son-in-law and I got in the car, went to my grandson's birthday party, and then after it was over, we left just as they were getting ready to wrap it up. We saw gifts, we saw cake. We headed on back to the conference. Now when you go back to a conference, when you leave something, it's got some good information right there. So,
oopsie.
Super excited. And it would have been nice to have like 4 or 5 people, because we could have split the cost up. Saying, hey, family member, if we were all there together. But we didn't know what to expect. So now I kept saying, I'm not going to talk to anybody about this until after we get, we start doing what we're supposed to do. Be successful on the first one. But I can't stop telling people, it's like, what is going on here? I said I'm not going to say anything, and then here we go.
Yeah, and I actually totally understand, because when we lived in Tampa, I went to a few of those investments on real estate. I even bought a package back in the day. The gentleman's name was Caleb McAfee or something like that. Okay. And I think he had Christian concepts, but I remember lending this package to a family member. I won't say who the family member was, but anyway. And you know what? I actually got talked into lending that person that package, and I never got the package back. And that was a big binder back in the day, a big binder, 3-ring binder with lots of information. And that person's moved several times since then, so I don't even know if So anyway, you live and you let live. But I would always go to those things, and at the end, I was like, if I could just find 3 to 5 to 6 people to split this with, and I would even actually talk to the people to my left and my right, and see if I could stay connected, get their phone numbers, because back then we didn't have like email, we didn't have internet, we didn't have any of those things, But so anyway, I'm very excited for you, and I don't know, you learned some stuff, and maybe I could buy in.
I'm gonna have you buy in. Once we get this thing set up, come buy in. Because
you and I have been talking about it for a long time anyway.
Yeah,
we have,
and this has been a love of ours, not just mine, since we were kids. I've always wanted to do real estate. I've always wanted to do this, rehab it or whatever the case may be, buy it, rehab it, whatever, and
did it also have a segment for Airbnb? And awesome.
Yes.
I've been talking to my son-in-law about that. So my daughter tells me, she says, I don't know. She says, when I met him, he started to sound more and more like you, mommy. So it's funny that we get along in that way. I'm like, well, make sure that you do this, and that, and look into this. And he's like, wow, thank you, mom, for giving me that. So yeah, God is good, and this is good.
All the time.
I won't even just say this is our year. I think that as a family, this is like our decade. Like, we're just going to get it right and build, because we both have a desire to build a family empire.
Well, you remember 10 years back, it's been 10 years already. Cannot believe it. 10, 11 years. When I had my last toe surgery, when I was laying there in excruciating pain, the Lord told me what's coming is better than what's been.
Amen. And I feel like
it's not a man that he should lie.
And I had somebody say to me this last week, they were like, they're like, oh, well, do such and such and such, because you grew up in the United States, and so you might be an angry Black woman or whatever. I'm like, actually, I'm not. I said I have to say that there are people who are in worse situations than me, and I feel like I had a really good childhood. I mean, stuff happens. I'm not gonna say that stuff didn't happen. We've been through some stuff, but I don't feel like that. I feel like God has really blessed me with, children and marriage, and I got a roof over my head. I got cars that I can drive, and like I said, we've trudged through some things, but thank God my life could be worse compared to other people. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not sure. I don't mean that to sound a certain kind of way, but I really don't feel like I have and then I feel like it's going to even get better from here.
And then I have been, for the last probably about 5 years ish, I have been looking online for like apartments to buy, and he talked about that also. And I'm thinking, come on, he is reading my mail.
And you didn't say that he's a Christian-based business.
Yes, the conference is called Life Surge. Well, we went to Life Surge. When I say we, I say my daughter and my son-in-law and I went to Life Surge, and they had all these motivational speakers. I'll just say that it was amazing,
Mhm.
and to include the ones that we know. I told you that Priscilla Shire was there, and David Robinson, the basketball player, was there, and Tim Tebow, the football player, was there, and then all the hard hitting real estate guys were there. They started off with it had Amy Grant singing throughout the whole entire time when they had like little in betweens,
Mhm.
and then there's one gentleman, I want to say British, but that name just popped in my head. It's not what it is. But it's a gentleman that has no arms and no legs. Talk about from Australia. Talk about a motivate. There was not one Ed. There's like not one person that was not motivating. James. I mean, they were all just hitting it out the park, And that's a long time to be in a conference. We went from like 8 in the morning, and I got there early 8 in the morning to like 6:30 in the evening
Mhm.
for that one. Now this is called Surge U, which is a spinoff of that, which kind of breaks it out to all the avenues. They had investment, and they had invest, they had real estate, they have da da da, So so this one was like a 3-day real estate, and I'm talking about get your money worth. We got our whole money's worth and more, and that was so exciting.
Mhm.
So like I said, yesterday he told us on Sunday for us not to do anything on Monday, just kind of relax. And so of course I had to at least like pop in and see because immediately you have access to your online classes, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But I had to at least pop in and see. But I kept trying to say, nope, no, don't do it, don't relax yourself. But I was feeling really poorly, and thank God I am like back on the mends. It started out with a whole bunch of aching in my bones, knees, back, neck, aching everywhere. Before I know it, full blown headache for a day and a half. I said, okay, enough. So I got up out of my sick bed and went and got some sea salt with some warm water, took that, and woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning and said, whoa, I better get myself to the bathroom because things are happening here. And so, but once my body cleansed itself out, can I just tell you, I feel like renewed.
Now, how much sea salt did you do? Because I did a sea salt washout on purpose on Monday without feeling the way you're feeling because I just know. Did you do it yesterday or Sunday?
I did it early morning this morning.
Okay. Did you do it
And
the way that?
it first woke me up at 7:30. So I've been up since 7:30.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I don't. We won't. I guess we won't give the recipe here. They'll have to ask us for it in the thing. But is it the same one that I had given you and mommy years ago? Or you just took some in the water and just drank it.
So we're not doctors. We're not trying to
Right.
give
Right.
you
Right.
health advice. We're just telling you what we've done. And this is just me doing the Celtic salt, with warm water.
Okay. Because
And
there's a certain measurement that. Yeah.
I didn't. It was more than a pinch, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. So, but I felt that bad. I mean, I felt like my head. I lost 14 pounds one time in like 2 days because I was ill.
Mm.
And I said, this is not going to be me. This is not going to be me. So I took that salt water down and took a shot of regular water. Afterward, that was at 4 in the morning. Laid myself back down by 7:30. I was like, wait, hold.
Girl. And you know what? That's funny because I didn't know if I was going to say something about it, but because you're talking about it,
Yeah.
why do we? I don't know. It's almost like we're birth sisters or something, which we are.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I'm Adwa.
And I am Nubia of Welcome to Sista Chat.
Sista Chat, hello. Yeah.
So yesterday I woke up and I took it, and even though I knew I wanted to get up and get ready for my travels for tomorrow,
yes.
I said, I'm gonna do the sea salt because by the time I finish doing myself and it moves in me, yes, I'm gonna be ready to go to the store. Girl, I wasn't ready to go to the store until like 8:30 at night. Because I talked to my husband because he also said that he was, I'm going to say on his behalf, that he was going to fast Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Or maybe, I'm not sure how far he's going to go, but I'm traveling, so I'm not going to do it on Wednesday. Whatever. I might decide to do half a day.
Yeah, that's our day.
I know, but I might still do it till 4 o'clock or whatever, but I'll be traveling. So, girl, I took that sea salt yesterday, and my husband's like, why didn't you go to the store yet? I'm like, honey, I'm still being cleansed here.
Yes.
And then, like I said, I text or I Googled to see what time the store closed, and the store closed at 9:30. Girl, I left the house at 9 o'clock, and I got in there because, it takes your body's got. Now it was immediate because as soon as I finished drinking it, the whole thing that I drank, maybe within 30 minutes, it's like, okay, you took that last drop, because I'm gonna go over to the bottom of that cup, and I drink that last. My body's like, okay. I'm like, I started off with it warm or hot. And then I drink it when, when it got cooled off enough for me. And that last drop was kind of cold, but I'm like, oh, this is good to the last drop.
That's what I was getting ready to say, good to the last drop. Yeah.
So that's so funny that you did it at 4 o'clock in the morning. And yeah.
So you might as well say last night, because 4 o'clock in the morning is technically like morning, but it's technically still eating because you're still sleeping.
No, I did mine like 11 o'clock. I usually would do it like 7 o'clock in the morning, like yesterday morning.
Oh,
I did it closer to the time, like maybe 10 o'clock in the morning. I did it 10, 11 o'clock. And then immediately it started working throughout the day. Yeah.
So it's working so well for me that I had to take a shower before we came on real quick.
Girl, I was going to say that. So my husband came home. He works second shift. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. This might be a little bit too much information for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, my husband came home last night and usually, because he's second shift, and I'm in the bathroom. He's like, what are you doing? Because usually I'm in the bed and I'm asleep. I'm like, I'm taking my time. I'm doing like self-preparation or whatever. Girl, like, he's like, so he ended up going to bed without taking his shower. He woke up this morning and took it,
So you have all them hours in a day to take your showers and do all your stuff. You go with my brother gets home, my brother-in-law gets home.
And then you get wrapped up in whatever you're doing. And then I'm like trying to, you know me when it's time to pack, like that whole packing thing. So anyway, that's
not selfish at all.
No, girl, it's not even about being selfish. It's just like, I knew I could not get in the bed after all of the cleansing that I needed to.
Oh yeah, I get it.
And usually he does not come straight upstairs. He usually like relaxes a little bit. He'll go in the kitchen and like clean up whatever I didn't put in the dishwasher. Or he'll start the dishwasher, put his lunch stuff in there. He'll read scripture. So usually he does all that in an hour or an hour and a half or so beforehand. But he came straight upstairs. I'm like, your window. He said, he said he's been waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So. Yeah, so he's been waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he would get up and he would pray, and so that's why he came home and he was like, "I'm tired." He went straight to bed because he's
So sometimes like that,
and I understand. So no, girl, let me call me selfish. I understand, my man. Look, I get it. But
okay, go ahead.
So I don't know what's up. I was going to say in preparation for me traveling tomorrow, I was going to show some things. But what were you going to say?
Okay, go ahead. We'll do show and tell. You show it, and I'm gonna go get the rest of my tell because I have some things to show, but I got one more thing to tell.
Well, hurry up, because how am I gonna show you if
Okay, show me.
All right, so when I went to the store for yesterday is because the function that I'm going to this week is like another women's conference, and it's also teaching you. Well, I'll tell that subject when I come back because I'm sure I'll be excited when I come back.
Isn't it amazing how they say if you don't continue to learn, you die? Exactly. And like, girl, we are like, give us a sponge. We're gonna try to suck all we can.
I know. And so they're also gonna have like a pajama party. Once you get there and you land and you register all that kind of stuff, then they're gonna have like a pajama party like at 8 p.m. So I'm like, of course I had to go get some cute pajamas. I mean, So,
that long and flowing gown with the wonderful
because I might still bring it because if you're gonna have a pajama party, like that's for show. I don't know after being out in public and showing it if I want to sleep in it. So I probably still bring the other one. I don't know. You know what I mean? Come on, we're like that. Like I'm not gonna be sleeping in my outdoor clothes, and if I'm sitting on couches and sofas and we're having a party, I'll probably go back to the room, take a shower, and change into my pajamas.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then later on, I can wear it at home. But they're really cute. I mean, they're so cute. I'll probably have to take a picture of myself when I'm there. So I got that, and then I got this really pink out. Okay, so I'm about to make a video that says Queens. Why is it that when we get a certain age and we see something that we like, we're like, I can fit into this medium.
I do that. I've done that.
I'm gonna leave. Just 1 second. Give me a second. So I bought the skirt in the, the size that was bigger than the top. And I'm thinking, no, my top's not that big. So I got home, took my shower, tried on the skirt. And I told the lady when I purchased it, I'll probably come back tomorrow to get the larger size. Girl, I had to get the larger size. I had to get the like 2 larger sizes than. So yeah, that video is gonna come out. It's gonna be like, why do we think that we're a medium? And so I bought for my future self because I'm gonna be able to fit that next time.
There you go,
girl. And I put that receipt in the wallet, nice and straight. It wasn't crinkled up. I already knew that I was probably going to have to go back to the store. So then you go in to make that one exchange, but yeah, no, you come out with socks because they're really cute. The theme of the thing is pink and purple or whatever, right? Who doesn't always need an extra pair of socks? I mean, so then you bought the top, which I won't show right now because you'll see it later. But I had to go and try it on. I tried the two different sizes, and I got the size that actually fit, right? And then does this sweater not say I'm from New England? It is so cute. Right? With little short sleeves because it's going to be warm when I'm going. And I'm like, yeah, I might have to be like mommy and throw my little pearls on. And just looking like New England. I don't know. And then of course, you know, what woman does not always need extra scrunchies, right? Yeah. So you got extra scrunchies. And then while you're there, you know how I am when it comes to packing. People, to know me, thank you for somebody jumped on, but to know me is to know that every time I travel, which has been frequently now, I watch 10 videos. I watch 10 videos on how to pack. I need to like record myself because I went to New Jersey last week and I'm like, I'm getting to where I'm packing less and less. I'm really getting good at this. But what I understand is my skincare, if you have a jar that's, let's say this big, you know, that's heavy and it's full of products. I need to like only bring what I need for 4 days because now we're getting into, if your bag is over, you're going to charge you, right? So first I saw a couple. Girl, I already have enough of these things, but I'm like, this one has,
nice,
like these little jars, right? And then it has, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these things. So I'm like, okay, you know, my eye stuff in here, and then your face moisturizer, and then my nighttime cream. I'm like, this is cute. And I really don't need a spray or whatever for my hair, but you know, there's enough for me to have a spray bottle and then also a pump for like your lotion or whatever. So I'm like, okay, as long as this, you know, so I pack it up. And this is a cute little container thing, even though I have one, you and I have one from our Arbonne company, whatever.
Right.
So that wasn't enough. I wanted this one for the little containers. But then this one, when you can't make up your mind, I'm like, is this not cute? And it comes with its own little ribbon. Like, come on, this is cute. You can't even.
It is cute.
Now I know I'm not gonna need a shampoo thing because I'm not doing all that while I'm there for the weekend because we don't have to do it like that. But I'm gonna put some body wash. So I'm not gonna carry the big body wash thing. I'm gonna pour some body wash in here. So I'll be set. And these jars were too big, right? For that. So I'll need those. But I'm like, what is this? These are cute. But this container is really cute. So it comes with like what? Does it come with perfume? Like, how do you fill up perfume? Like perfume usually, I don't know how you get the top off. I don't know how I do that.
It would have to be like a body spray.
So it came with its own little perfume thing. Cute. And I thought, how cute is that, right? Did I just take a lid off?
I think perfumes are pretty.
Look at that. Like a lipstick thing.
Neat.
Yeah, so you spray it like that. And then you just put it back down. So they gave 2 of those. But this was just such a cute bag. So that's
this from the M store? Is this from the M store?
Yes, girl. It's up on my TikTok. Yep, it is. And then I thought about our baby sister, who's, you know, we're gonna have to always keep calling her baby sister because she's baby sister, you know, even though she's in her 40s. But when she travels, she brings her own snacks. And so I was in there.
Oh, yes.
Omega-3, and then it's individually wrapped already. So I'm like, okay, I can throw a couple of these in my suitcase. And how cute is this? $9.99, and then you got your own individual thing, omega-3 mix, and it has protein and it has some fiber, all that. And you and I talked about walnuts, so it has walnuts, and it looks like it's raisins, some almonds, and some pistachios. So the 2 nuts that are really important. There's 3 of them in there, actually 3 of the cake.
Well, yeah, when I said eat some walnuts, I wasn't exactly talking about any candy, but it's good. I mean, it's got pistachios, it's got walnuts in it. I'll eat it.
It's not candy. If they're full, they're full. They're loose.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see now.
They're loose.
Yeah.
So that, and of course, I got a thank you note. I always love thank you notes. I just love. Where is it? Can I get it? It says thank you on there.
It does. Cute. Nice little flowers. Cute.
I got one for our friend who's allowing me who invited me and to stay in her room. And then of course girl, I have so many packing things. Like, did I really need 4 more?
No.
But because
ask me.
But because this shows you, what'd you say?
I said, ask me. No.
So the other ones are packing clothes, like for my tops or whatever. But this one is showed for separate for your socks, separate for your skincare, which are, so this can go, I won't have to dig around them in my suitcase. And then it just shows you different things that you can pack. And then also my wires, all my cords and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, for what? $6.99. So that was my thing. And of course, I left before my husband went to work. And I said, okay, honey, after I went to one store, I went to another store. And I said, okay, I'm going to go to the other store and I'm going to get my steps in. Yeah, right. Not just steps. So then he said, oh, I'm leaving early to get gas. I'm like, I get to walk into the house without 2 bags in my hand. So
You're always gonna watch us later on, right?
I'm gonna bet this one he won't, but I'm not gonna encourage it either. So anyway, cute sweater and my socks. So that's what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the day. And why do I think that I haven't planted one seed, and here I am leaving for the 3rd or 4th time. And so I'm gonna see if I can try and, remember the little green containers that you and I both have that for gardening. So I guess this is a good way to segue into gardening.
Yeah.
I'm going to take those.
Well, actually, no, because you actually did your piece, the things that you have, and I didn't get to do mine yet.
Oh, I don't have anything. I don't have. No, good way for you to segue into gardening because I don't have anything. I don't have any seeds planted or anything.
Okay, so I'm gonna go Mother's Day. Mother's Day. We all kind of did our own things because of the fact that nothing's going on. So my youngest daughter took me to breakfast. She gave me a choice as to where I wanted to go. So thank you, Magnolia House.
She took me there.
Yes. So we went there. Then my eldest daughter gave me. I didn't get permission, so I blotted their heads out. A picture of her and my 2 grandkids. And so back in the day, a few years ago, she actually gave me one of those little rollers for the skin, right? It's like a cute little marble, pink rolling.
I gave mine to mommy.
You did? And I love that thing. That thing was working out pretty good once I started using it, right? I'm like, heck yeah. So my grandson, the number 3 grandchild, boom. We'll talk more about that too. My number 3 grandson, he would always roll with a roller. No big deal, right? But something clicked in his head. You know what? If I hold this up and drop it, let's see what happens. So I'm like, no! And he went, poof. So it was shattered into pieces. So I had a little roller with a little bit of marble left, and I'm kind of like rolling with the little piece.
Scream. Girl, you're gonna cut your face.
Right. So then I felt bad because I didn't want to lie to my daughter. I told her, I really liked it. Yes, I want to apologize because I tell myself, right. So my grandson tore it up. I couldn't really use it the way I wanted to. So for Mother's Day, she gave me this cute little box, and in the box came this adorable set in the color that I like so much.
Stop.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even know they can come in a set like that. Neat. And we just talked about this last week. Sure did. Look at that there. I am feeling so pampered right now. But wait, there's more. So wait, my grandkids and my daughter gave me this.
She
took the sticker. I'm sure she took the sticker off of it, but now I need to know where it came from because I like the whole set.
Okay, we'll have to ask her because we'll just look for this. XYZ da da da.
Girl, take a picture of me. Set it for later. I'm not gonna remember for now, especially with
TV. So that's 2 things. They know that whenever we went to a carnival, wherever we went anywhere where there was things that you could eat off the little concession stands, this is one thing I always got. And I always complained about the pink always having the aftertaste. I know I shouldn't have it. And I'm not going to say how big his bag was, but this bag was pretty darn big. I said, first of all, I know I shouldn't have it. I said, you know what? I shouldn't leave this entire 4-ounce thing all by itself. So my granddaughter said, can I have some? I gave her about that much. And then I ate about that much. And then I have that double back, more in here. So I probably do plan on eating this whole thing today and just drinking a whole lot of water and just, crushing all the sugar in the name of Jesus. Right. So that's number 3. Then there was more. they know I love lavender. She got me a lavender candle, so I had to use that last night.
So this is the exact reason why I said that I don't do Mother's Day. But anyway, you will have to watch my video afterwards.
And it came in this lovely basket, so I get to reuse it. I'm gonna put it behind the toilet and have all the little toiletries in it. You know what I'm saying? Accessories.
Love it. Yes.
So I said, wow, it's amazing. Then, and my youngest son sent. It was actually wrapped in this. Okay, and it's a nice little like journal. It says a guided life journal for a mother to share her legacy. And I said, and I put on TikTok, boy, I have some stories to tell. But isn't this book nice?
Very nice. I think that I think TikTok has a book like that from a mother story type of thing.
So I'm loving it. Even it feels like really, really nice. Mm-hmm. And so I nice binding to it. I said, okay, it asks you about childhood. Actually, let's go by chapters. There's like 10 chapters or something in it, even down to COVID, everything in here. So I said that is like so neat. And then my second born. And my daughter, my second born, which is a son, and my daughter-in-law, and the two boys gave me beautiful flowers and a card, and the boys wrote in the card. I said, "That's so stinking cute." You know, and I have that disclaimer is they're 2 and 4 now, and so yeah, it's nice to have them like draw little pictures. But I'm gonna bring the flowers in while you're talking about the next thing or what's coming up, just because.
Okay. So disclaimer is that I don't celebrate Mother's Day like that. But when I came back home, because I had been gone for 4 or 5 days to go visit my daughter in New Jersey, and so when I did come back home, my husband did have some sitting on the table for me for that was last week. What day was that? Oh, Saturday morning. So I was saying I don't celebrate Mother's Day.
Right.
You went to the whole shebang, but my husband did have flowers for me because I was gone for 5 days, and so that was nice. He bought them for me when I got back home. They were
they're lovely. So here's my flowers from my son and my daughter-in-law.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
I just believe that Mother's Day should be celebrated every single day, and that the government, whoever deemed it necessary to categorize us and put us into a box, that we, it's like $34 billion. Again, if you watch my video, I was saying the statistics as to, but anyway, so it's not condemning anybody who does, but, again, I try and do the things that are in the Bible, and none of these things and these festivals and these things that we celebrate are in the Bible. So,
right.
But at the same time,
isn't part of the tabernacle feast or any other feast that they actually have in the Bible. You're right.
So at the same time, it does send my kids conflicting. So again, I explained all that in the video. And so, yes, I am a Christian, but I did title that Mother's Day. I said Mother's Day sucks. But in reality, it was just because it's a catcher, an eye catcher for one. And so anyway, that's
so then my next thing that I bought for myself was fast hydration. Mm-hmm. I haven't tried that yet either.
Hey, that comes in lime, orange, and watermelon. I think I got those things off of TikTok, and there's 3 of them.
No way. I got the one. I'm being jipped. What the?
Well, no, you could buy one, but I said, let me just try all 3 flavors. And it's like hydrating.
Yes.
Right? Girl, yeah.
And clearly after all this, I'm going to need to hydrate. So yes, that part. And then what came in also was I got my black seed and my soursop came in also. So I'll be back on that once I recover from all this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, so how's your garden going?
So right now I've got one little squash. It's about this size. Mm-hmm. I've been eating. I actually have some bok choy in my refrigerator. I'm gonna cook it up.
Oh, and it came from your garden?
Yes.
I always try and grow bok choy. I love it.
Let me show you.
Okay. All right. I know her kitchen's right next to that room, so she's not going to be gone very long. But thank you guys for coming in and watching us, and thank you for the person who's still in the room. Hopefully you don't feel shy. Jump in and say where you're, say welcome or hello to us one day soon.
And we say welcome and hello to you as well. So exactly. I put the bok choy in here, but it's right now in water. I'm getting ready to. I'm going to cook it like spinach, season it up, and I'm going to also put some in a salad.
Oh, so it's in a plastic baggie or something like that?
Yeah, I have. Well, no. I have my peppers that I froze. I try to keep like vegetables already prepared. Sometimes, that way. But bok choy.
Oh, okay. I was looking
Uh-huh.
for the whole stem, the whole like little miniature one, but I got you.
Oh, no, I just cut it from here to here. But
Okay,
yeah,
good.
it did have a good long stem with it as well. But yeah.
Does it grow back?
Mm-hmm.
You peel the leaves off,
And
because I know that when I buy it in the store, you get the whole stalk, like celery, like a whole stalk of celery.
mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm.
cool.
Got a good taste to it. Kind of has a taste like spinach and kale like combined.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I love it. I love to make like my own soup or my own like pho and
Mm-hmm.
put like the bok choy in my pho. I love
Oh
it like that.
yeah.
That and also Thai basil. One of
Have
my
you
favorite.
ever used your own seaweed? You know, you buy those seaweed boxes, the
Yeah,
box of seaweed.
yeah,
I cut it up and put it in my soup as well.
yep. Do that too. Do that
Uh-huh.
too. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So
So
garden
those
is
are all the wonderful things. You know
yeah.
what? I don't make a big deal of anything, but that, I do like the fact that they recognize me being their mother on this day. I can't lie.
Mhm, mhm.
So that part. But I wanted to talk to you about one. So the segue. So yeah. So I showed you I have kale growing. I've got tomatoes in there, but everything this year I put all in one box was kind of jam packed. And I know
Oh.
better, but I just wanted to see some
No,
stuff.
they say that actually that's the best way to do it, so that there's no grass and there's no weeds that can come up. And they said back in the day, you know when you put everything together like that, it kind of confuses the insects and the bugs and all that kind of stuff when you put
Yeah.
in the basil and the tomatoes and all those things in the box together. So like what's the word? Um, companion gardening.
Right.
Yeah.
And did you know that there are multiple types of flowers and plants you can put in that not only deter mosquitoes, because mainly we talk about mosquitoes and flies, but also deter roaches if you had any. I didn't know that.
Mm.
So, but basil, they say that flies and mosquitoes cannot stand the smell of basil.
Mm. I
So
believe it.
basil,
I have a whole companion book, and I have notes that I take every year,
uh,
and I keep adding to it. Yeah, I don't have it
mhm.
down here around here, but yeah.
So I have kale in there. I've got bok choy in there. I've got tomatoes in there, squash. I even have the audacity to put a couple carrots in there.
I think that's cool. You know what? That's funny because my husband did come home when he came home last night.
Mhm.
There's a nice a sweet lady who goes to China every year. That's where she's originally from, and she works in the building. And she always brings him back something like whether it's tea or little candies from China or whatever. And so I guess she went to a market and they were giving away onions and carrots. And so he came home with a big bag. He told me, he said, "Honey, the sweet lady that works with me, I'm not sure, older lady, she always brings something back for him." I guess because he's the kind of guy that he recognizes people, even if you're the cleaning person or whatever you do. And he always
Mhm.
says, "Hello, how are you today? How are you doing?" And so
Right.
whenever she goes away or comes back, she buys him stuff or brings him stuff.
Notice that when you see a lot of janitors, they look away. Like
They're
first of
invisible.
all, if
What's
you're a
other
janitor, be the best janitor that you can be. I mean, I'm gonna give greeting also
right.
because that's admirable. If you're doing it and doing it well, I mean,
Yeah,
amen. You
yeah.
know.
Yeah. And other people
So
treat them as though they're invisible. So
right,
that's
and that's
why
the thing.
if he's been there for all those years and every year. So we got a great big bag of carrots, which I guess when I come back, because carrots, that's what the root vegetables, they last a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can take them and maybe I'll juice them when I get back. Because by the time I get back from this conference and then, food and all the kind of stuff, even though I'm glad I'm like kind of not eating as much now until I come back. And then I'll be doing another cleanse probably. But yeah,
Let me know. Do with you.
so she gave she gave a big bag of carrots and then she gave us 2 bags of onions. And I'm like, I love sauteed onions. I mean, I
Oh.
could, you know,
They say
I
it's better to have them raw, but I do
I love
also.
them both. I love both.
Yeah, same.
You looked around like Daddy was coming down the steps by himself.
I happened to see a glance to my, in the corner of my eye, and I saw a car. It looks like from my corner, it looks like it's actually, next to my driveway, but it's
Oh,
across the street. But I just happened to see it in my peripheral vision.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good. So far we did whatever your conference was this weekend.
Yes.
The 5 reasons why I don't celebrate, and then some gardening, and then let's see. So what else do we have to tap on today? And I showed you all the stuff.
I got my hair appointment coming up tomorrow. I am so ready because my roots are like, "Ooh, girl, do what you do, girl."
Mine are doing the same thing, and
Yeah.
I need to take a class. That's what we were talking about before you jumped on. We jumped on. Is that man, it's so hard to find somebody to not charge an arm and a leg. And of course, I know that my hair is long and I understand that.
Mhm.
But for this is something that has to be done almost every 6 to 8 weeks. And
Yeah.
so we got our hair like this because first of all, it's beautiful. I mean,
Yes.
just the whole thing of it. But then it's low maintenance. Technically,
Mm.
it's low maintenance, and especially on a daily basis, we don't have to do.
Right.
I don't do anything to my hair really. So we're
Exactly.
now I just shove it all up into a satin cap, and then I
Girl, it's too hot. I can't. It
without
makes me sweat.
restriction.
It makes me hot just thinking about it.
Without restriction, I have a cute little. I try and get the scrunchies that are like this, but the ones that are better are the ones that have like a satiny feel to it, silky
Hmm.
satin, because it doesn't take your hair out. And we sleep in bonnets and we have a silk uh, pillowcase. I'm sure you have a silk pillowcase though. So that right there.
I also have
So
cotton. I use cotton a lot. I like
yeah,
cotton.
yeah. So and now, it's getting in my way when I'm sleeping. So I got to figure out. So that's why I scrunch mine all up into I kind of like take it and, uh, I kind of like wrap it all around, do
Hmm.
something like this,
Oh yeah. Oh, you got to get it off that neck.
right? And then I put the silk cap on, and
Yeah.
I'm good to go. You
Hmm.
know, so I
It
remember
looks so healthy.
I do, and I do absolutely when I say I do absolutely nothing, I do absolutely nothing. I mean,
Right. Hmm.
so um, yeah, so that a couple of weeks ago, no, it's probably been more than 8 weeks now. I went to get my hair done, and she says, "Hey," she says, I have because I love my graying, right?" And so she said, "Oh, do you want to dye your hair?" And so I thought for the edges, and then because I had never dyed my hair before, and I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. And so she shampooed my hair, and then the dye was in it, and I immediately after I got up, I looked, I'm like, I am in my 60s. I mean, we look great, so I was like, and now I look like I just took myself 20 years back. I look like I'm 40, and I immediately regretted it. And so now it's starting to come back again because she said it would take about 4 weeks or so. And mine are all the way around the edges,
Yeah.
and then if you're really close to me, it is kind of salt and pepper ish,
Mhm.
but it is what
But
it
it's
is.
funny because who think that our parents now have a child in the 40s, two in the 50s, and one in the 60s.
Yeah, right. And to go someplace with that little hot mama of a mama that we have, man, she's looking good for 80. What, she's gonna be 82 or
She'll be 81.
81. Yeah, because her sister just turned. I mean, they're
Hmm.
all so close in age too.
Hmm.
So did we tell the story when I was there? A couple weeks ago, and because she was also dehydrated, because that's what you were feeling this morning, like
Yeah.
dehydration, because you were
Hmm.
at that conference and probably just busy. And so our mother was taking care of other people. She's like Mother Teresa, and
Hmm.
which is in a good way. But she's 80ish, and she takes care of people who are like 90, and she takes them to their doctor's appointments,
Mm.
takes them she goes and gets groceries for them, and takes them out for lunch and stuff like that because they
Yeah.
can't drive anymore. So
Goes
she
to the nursing home, plays games with the people at the nursing home. Yeah.
all the thing works at the poll station for polling
Yeah.
for voting and all that.
Hmm.
So she got dehydrated because one of her close friends had to go to the hospital, and next
Hmm.
thing you know, I just happened to be there.
You were coming back from North Carolina.
Yes, I was coming back from North Carolina, and
Hmm.
she's like, she didn't feel good. I'm like, okay, well, we tried the salt water thing, but she was really too far gone. You caught it, and you're hydrating yourself.
Right.
So by the time we thought about it, and her sisters were calling because they're all concerned, and her brother-in-law, everybody's calling her to tell her to go to the hospital. And I said, okay, I have to go make a run to do something. When I come back, if you're still feeling that bad, we're gonna, because she's 80 something years old, I'm not gonna play with her health. Then
Right.
we're gonna go to the hospital.
Hmm.
And so we went, and this lady of ours, this mother of ours, she packed her silk bonnet. She packed her mask, her silk mask,
Hmm.
and she had her pearls on. So
I can't.
the thing that I knew that we had to take her to the hospital is because she wears pearls every single day. And before I had given her salt water, or before I gave her somewhere around that time, she called me in the room, and I went back there. She says, "Can you take the pearls off, please? I think I have to throw up. I think I have to." So I took off her pearls, and bam, she did, and she felt a little bit better. But I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, you're dehydrated. Let's go take care of this. But the fact that she, her pearls and the satin, when she was enrolled into the emergency room, And the lady was doing all the things, and they were taking care of her. And the nurse left and came back, and my mother had her bonnet on, and she had on her. The lady said, I have never, I've never. And we were just crackling, and cracking up, because to me it wasn't like this is just mom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I call her mommy, guys. And so I just thought that was the funniest thing. And so of course, me leaving from New Jersey and coming back home, my son-in-law, he gave me a nice gift. I said, I told you not to buy me anything. And then he said, well, good thing it's Thursday. So he bought me a nice little wallet. My phone can go in there, from him, my daughter.
If you can use the term Mima, like I'm a Mima, now you're a Mima, you can use son in love.
Thank you. Okay. I just, that's a lot of thinking ahead of time. You've had more than 10 years of practice. Okay. It's been less than a year for me. So
gotcha.
I'm even forgetting to talk to my granddaughters.
You have my approval.
Thank you. I keep saying grandma and then I say Mima, but I mean, so he texts me because he took my daughter and his daughters out to a brunch on the cruise. And I helped her pick out an outfit.
That cruise,
it was a brunch cruise. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It was a brunch cruise. So I helped her pick out her little outfit, and you know how we do, because our culture is like, girl, that outfit makes your butt look good. She said, thank you, mommy. So he texts me, he says, you know what? Yeah, you're a bit bougie, but my wife is bougier or something, but I know where she gets it from. I'm like, of course. I mean, and I said, it doesn't even begin with me. It goes all the way back to my mama, to our grandmamas, all the.
First of all, our Nana ironed underwear and sheets.
And the gym clothes, and our mom and her sister's gym clothing.
She ironed everything.
And then you have to throw in Grandma Turner T. She's God rest her. We can say her whole last name. We never left the house without lipstick, and mommy never used to wear lipstick, and now she never leaves the house without lipstick. I'm kind of the same way. And then I got to throw in my mother-in-law also. God bless her. I just been blessed with some wonderful women around us. That's all we can say. God is good. So with that said, what do we got the last 15 minutes? What are we gonna talk about?
Okay, so I wanted to do one Black History thing, and I'm going to say initially that I do not support any kind of secret societies, but it actually had to do with Black history, and I wanted to share it because of the fact that it was Black history. So if the man's name is Prince Hall, and Prince Hall was a Black man who created the first secret network, and this is why he did it. He went to a Masonic lodge and wanted to. This is 1775, and he wanted to join their lodge, and they pretty much laughed him out of town and get out of here. We ain't gonna have no Black people. So him and 14 other Black gentlemen, established the Black Masonic, lodge. And what the white ones didn't realize is that the Black Masonic guys for 200 years were using it for like slavery, to fight against slavery, to fight against a whole bunch of things. And I thought that was amazing that for 200 years they didn't even know that they were doing that. And he was a free Black man from Boston. Yeah. So it's like you think that you wouldn't have that kind of discrimination, even if it is 1775, but you remember that it is 1775 and you are a Black man. So and how he established it was he actually went to Britain to a British military lodge, and they indoctrinated him or initiated him. And then he came back and formed one down here, formed one here in the United States for our Black people. Isn't that something?
Awesome. We started all these things off in good intentions, you know what I mean? And then maybe later on they turned into something else. But there's so much history out there. I don't even call it, like I put it into the comment section. I don't even call it Black history. It is history. It is history. And I put history 1775. Right. But, there's so much hidden stuff that's like the Bible says, everything hidden shall be revealed.
Exactly. Hidden figures, right? But now was not
exactly.
Without her math, that no one would have up into the atmosphere there.
Yeah.
So
I'm doing neighborhood watch right now because this building is closed and there's a person trying to get in the building next door. So I'm watching you. My kids
No
are
way.
like,
They closed down?
yeah, the building that our mom used to go to for doctor's appointments.
Right. Can I
Right?
tell you that those people are calling me and sending me little flyers in the mail and sending texts saying, "Oh, you want to sell your house?" No, and I would appreciate you stop take my name off your list, please. You
Yeah,
know.
every once in a while I'll get something with your name on it, and they'll text me too. I'm like, how did you get my number with your name? And
Wow.
I'm not the owner person. Please remove me from your list also.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there's the one across the street right beside it, and they are
Mhm.
also he's always looking for tenants. I don't really see anybody coming in and out of there.
But isn't that the one that had mildew or mold or something like that? The one to the right of it with the little dome?
Oh, that was no, I don't know, but we're giving too much information as far as people being able to pinpoint where I am. So we'll stop talking about that right now. But we can talk about that off camera. But anyway,
Okay.
but yeah. So my kids are like, you're being nosy. I'm like, no, that's called neighborhood watch. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it is. Back in the day, that's what people do. You kind of you neighborhood watch, make sure that everything is secure.
Exactly.
Watching your neighbors back, even when they don't expect it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so yesterday also, while I was in the store, it was after 4 o'clock because my husband's doing it all day long, 24 hours. But I'm like, okay, 4 o'clock ish. So while I was out, people were talking about wearing masks and stuff like that again.
Oh, yes. I'm glad you said that. So I went to, I help out Mr. Stone.
Yes.
And so I once a week I wash.
So when I went to the first store, they didn't have any. I said to the lady, I says, you need to probably get some more back in the store. She said, well, we haven't had any since, that situation back in the 2020. And I said, yeah, but I was in New Jersey and people are getting on trains and all that kind of stuff. And they're breathing and because that air is recycled. And I said, you probably need to reinvest in getting some more masks. So I had to leave from that store and go to our local grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 boxes. All they had on the shelf was 2 boxes, and they each had 50. And so I grabbed 1 box. I'm like, I should grab both, but I really don't need that many, And then I came home today. That was last night. Took everything out, showed my husband, whatever. Keep a couple now in the car, keep them in my bags. Because on the train, a gentleman who worked the concession stand, he had a whole bag of unused cloth ones. Not like they were like, regular cloth.
Yeah.
So he just gave me the whole bag. I said, well, sir, that is so kind, but I only need 1, So I went to buy some for myself. But when I came home, left last night, came back in, left to go return that item. And as I was, because we're older, what do we do when we first get in? You put your bags down and you run to the restroom. Came out the restroom. I looked down on the floor like you're going back out to the back door. You know what I'm talking about. Girl, why is there a whole box of white masks left over from when Pop was here? That means it's been sitting there forever. And I'm like, I called my husband. I'm like, did you find masks and you put them in the hallway so I could see them? He said, what masks? So now what? 50 plus probably 25 left in that box. We probably, because when the help workers used to come in, and I would ask them to hand sanitize because it was at the door, and I had the masks there. So anyway, I'll tell you a story about the masks.
So I went to drop off. I do laundry for Mr. Stone once a week. And I dropped it off yesterday. And I noticed the person they have a carrier service that comes to pick up people in vans and transport a van. And he had a mask on. And then a nurse came out and she had a mask on. I said, is there there some COVID going on around here that no one's saying anything about? Because all the people outside had no mask on.
Yeah, watch the words. They'll strike us if we say certain words.
Like what?
The COVID.
Oh. So, so long story short is people coming out with masks, but all the people that actually lived there had no mask on. I'm like, what in the actual world? Mm-hmm. So something must be going around. We'll just say that part because there have been more masks in that little moment than I've seen there since
a long time. Well, that there's a ship, there's a cruise ship that's been out there to sea for a few weeks, and the doctor on the ship and the person, I was like, and then
Norwegian or something like that.
Yeah, right. So I feel like we're being set up for something, but we'll just leave that. We're not trying to get banned. This conversation.
You know much money was saved. Last go around. Yeah, because people fell ill.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Well,
like
yeah.
they expected a whole lot of people to be gone by now. And when you're not gone, and there's a whole bunch of us here,
What do they call it?
after cleansing.
That or yeah, I was gonna say human. Yeah, that's basically what I was getting ready to say. But yeah.
Mhm.
So again, word to the wise, or we put it out there. Disclaimer: we're not saying that we're conspiracy theorists or anything like that. We're just two sisters having a conversation.
Right.
We're not scientists. We're not doctors. We're not nurses, lawyers, doctors, anything. But anyway, anywho, what you opening up? So now we got like a few minutes. I want to say ahead of time, thank you guys for popping in. And have you tried it yet?
No, I just opened it.
And then what does it have? Because you're really good at catching the sucrose, something sucrose. It'll say no sugar, but then it'll say something ending with sauce or cos. What's the back of the thing say?
It says, "Are you for real? You know I got this small enough to where you can't read it." That's what it says.
Where's my magnifying glass?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, girl, please. I can't even. It's
Yeah. So I got nothing.
okay.
What
So
there's a whole bunch of words.
So write yourself a note so we can check it out for next week. So matter of fact,
Yeah.
so today's Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get back in time. I'll be back by this weekend. There's a lot of graduations and stuff going on. I know that I won't be back in time for my friend that they live out in Arizona. Their son's actually graduating from the Boston College. So I'll just
Wow.
I know.
Fast, right?
I know. So I won't be able to make it to his graduation because my son-in-law is having some other kind of ceremony also for something to do with the military, I think, or whatever. So I think I might get back in time for that. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see.
Make sure my nephew comes back with a mask on.
Oh yeah. Them you know what? Them tropical islands in the Caribbean and in the Africa, those places, because of the heat and some of that, yeah. But yeah. I love it. He texts us and he says, "Yep, still living, still breathing, all is well." I'm like, "That's all I'm asking for, son. Just let us know every day, that all is well."
I was about to tell you one thing about that real estate class also was I forgot to tell you that you can use your 401k. You had a 401k. You can borrow against it, put money in, take money out, and tax free.
They're teaching you all the tax breaks. I love it too. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the thing that says like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate you being here. And this is always a good time for us. It's, I always I call my sister always just before we get on. And in the morning, I text and say, okay, sometimes the night before, all right, tomorrow's a day or 3 hours to go or whatever. And so because I was running around this morning, I knew I had to get back and right.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I called you. And then when I looked up, I saw that you were already trying to get in the room. I'm like, okay, she remembered. So, so it's all good. It's all good.
I had that emergency I had to take care of.
Oh, gotcha. So I always want to make sure that I could wing it myself.
Yeah.
I'm watching videos where people say that they when you're recording, because we're live, but that when they're recording, they're actually reading from a script, and I'm like, I got to learn how to do that because there's so many other subjects that I want to talk about, and I don't have you and I just talking off the cuff. I can do this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Have some bullet points, and I can do that.
But you want some structure where you have
right,
and then the blurb, and then this, and then the blurb.
So when you see my my Mother's Day video, I was stuttering and stammering a little bit, but I'm not one to do stuff 20 takes. Like I'm just gonna go for it, and then guess what? I put it up, and if my voice irritates me or whatever, I just don't watch it again. But I do go in and I'll add in some words to make it findable. Make it easier to find and locate. So yeah. So if I think that you're not gonna be able to make it on, like if you're sick or whatever, which it hasn't really happened because you've mustered it up, you've come even when you don't feel well. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna start with if she can't come on for some reason? What am I gonna do instead? So anyway, that's all we have. We got like 1 minute left, even though my alarm just went off over there. This is my container of all my seeds,
My.
And so I was looking. This is a whole strip of flowers that come. You know, have you purchased anything like that? The seeds,
No.
the seeds are in
Oh,
between.
I've actually okay, what? Neat. Can you put the whole thing in, or do you have to take it
Yeah,
out?
you can lay it down. It hasn't worked well for me 1 year. So you put the dirt on top of it.
Wow.
So
I
there's
have I've got bulbs that are actually in bags, but not like individually like lay it out and
yeah,
put
this
some
is
dirt on
like
good.
seed drop, seed drop, seed drop. I just
What?
pick a whole, like, depending on how long you want to do it, I can
Yeah.
put that in this one spot, rip it here. It's just like tissue. And so yeah, I got all the girl. I got all the. I'm surrounded by all these seeds. Like I put them all in all these different containers.
Yeah.
I got baskets full of seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Like depending on the
Okay.
season.
Same.
So anyway, I wish, girl, grow some collards. I love me some. I love collard greens. If I had them in my backyard, man. So
What amazing, girl! You have all that stuff out there. Put it in. Put it in.
I know, but now I'm running out of time. And I'm leaving, and then I'm gonna go go someplace again in June. And then who's gonna watch it? I'm gonna have to have our aunt. I'll say
What
aunt.
is
Dot.
your zone? What is your zone for it? Are you zoned for it right now?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You're zoned for growing.
Well, some of them I can
I'm
start.
eight.
Some of them I can start indoors because it's been really kind of brisky cold up there.
Mm.
You know. So yeah, me going to the store with this long sleeve thing on, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get my last use out of this dress today. I'm gonna be going, and people are like, oh, I like your dress. I'm like, TikTok, TikTok, you don't stop. Go to Nubian Queen TV, and you can. But anyways, we love you guys. We're over by a minute and 53 seconds. Look forward to. So because I do my daily Bible study every morning at 7 a.m. on TikTok live,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to read ahead of time tonight because I'll be traveling tomorrow morning, and then just put it out live on YouTube. Not live, you know what I mean? Like it'll come out at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning because I won't be on TikTok for the first time in a very long time. So anywho, love you guys. Peace and blessings. How do we do it? Peace, love, and blessings. I love it, love it, love it. How do I need to play that back and then freeze that. I love it because we'll have a new picture of us doing that because I used one from last year, I think, that I keep putting out for all of our videos. You probably don't even go back and listen to them yourself. I have to go back and listen to it to edit it and to put certain things in there. And so it has one.
Some days, yes. Most days, nah.
I know. But
One
anyway,
stop, one stop, one shop. I don't want to see myself twice.
I hear you. But we're gone. We're out of here. I thank you for the person who came in. And if anybody else comes in, just put pound replay and we would appreciate that. Or just leave us a comment. Say hello, hi, how you doing? Remember that song? Hey, hello. How you doing? What's happening, baby?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. We are Christians. We just like to have fun. Anyway, until next week, guys. We appreciate you. We love you. And ciao for now. All right. Peace and blessings.